If you have not watched our previous video, my interview with Brandon Carter, make sure you watch that. It is quite a spectacular story. So what do you have to say to people, let's say they are thinking of using social media to build a brand? What are some of the mistakes that you see most people make?
I think some of the mistakes are like not having a business behind it.
Okay, so they just I want to be famous. I want to have a lot of followers.
Yeah, and that's cool. That's cool if you don't care about making money. Like if it's a hobby, you know, that's cool. Like you just, you know, I got some things I do that don't make me money. You know, like, and it's cool if it's one of them. You just got to be clear about that. You know, if it's something you want to do for a living.
So they need a solid business model, solid offer, product, services before they. Well, because to me, the way I see social media, it's just eyeballs.
Yeah,
that's all that is. So with the attention, what do we do? Like besides the business model?
Well, for me, it's like I have what's called like I learned this model in a strip club. Let me explain. This interview is going off the rails, Dan.
No, I love it.
All right. So, like, have you ever been to a strip club?
I've never been to a strip
club. You never been to a strip club?
I've never been to a strip club.
All right, man, we're going to change that as soon as these cameras go.
Vegas,
all right, so when I first started the supplement company, when I got it, my online business to the point where I could quit my job again. Thank God. Back out of hell. All right. So we were thinking. I have a business partner now. I brought in my boy Brian at that point too, like, you know, to help out. And we went to Vegas for the Olympia convention because we think, all right, at some point we want to be at this thing with our products. So we should check it out. All right. So we went down to Vegas, and then the night before we thought, you know what, man, we'd be remiss if we didn't, you know,
go to strip.
We didn't patron one of the Vegas finest gentlemen's club.
Yeah.
So we say, all right, let's do that, you know. And we leave the hotel, and we're trying to get a cab. And in fact, the cab driver was like, strip club? And like, you guys want to go strip club? We'll take you for free. I'm like, take us for free? That's kind of you. Yeah. Right? So we get in, they take us there, and then the cab driver gets out, and the bouncer, he pays him.
Interesting.
All right, I thought it was interesting, but you know, it didn't click until like later in the story.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, cool. Then we get in. We got in for free, I think, for that night. So we'll just skip that. That's not normal, but for this story, just work with me. And we get in. And then we start looking around, and you know, when you go to once I take you to your first strip club, you'll see that in most of them.
Do they have the pole in the middle?
Yeah, there's a bunch of stages, but there's usually one they call the main stage. That's the big one. Okay. And then there's always this guy with the same voice, and they're like, and now coming to the stage.
Yeah.
All right, so he's talking like that. So we go to the main stage, you know, because as luck would have it, as soon as we walked in, immediately in front of us there were 2 seats, prime location.
Do you pay for the seat? Or
No.
You can see whatever you want.
You see whatever you want.
So it's not like a theater thing.
No.
VIP seat.
You don't pay for the.
Okay.
I think there is some places where you can like buy bottle service, but that's beyond the scope of this store or this narrative.
Right.
All right. So we sit down, and then there's a girl. She's doing her thing. It's cool. And
it's the most beautiful, like most attractive girls at the main stage or the side stage?
They rotate them, man. They rotate them. So like they switch. What happens? Because
that's fascinating.
This is all about to make sense. This is all about to make you as a marketer, you'll get this. So we heard the guy with the crazy voice. And now coming to the stage is Cinnamon. Cinnamon. Yeah, that's her name. And she looked like Tomb Raider, the girl from Tomb Raider. You're right. But her hair was like the color cinnamon. I'm assuming that's why her parents named her that. And so now she's up there, and she starts to twerking, man. She starts doing her
thing, yeah.
And she like climbs the pole, and then like now she's like doing stuff without her legs. She's just holding the pole. And at this point, I'm just impressed from an athletic standpoint.
Like, holy shit.
Yeah, man, this girl has upper body strength. And she slides down the pole like real slow, Dan, real slow. And then she gets down, and she looks at my boy Brian. She looks him in the eye. No, she looks him in the soul, right? Through his eyeballs. And then she crawls over to him like a panther in the middle of the night, and he's like sweating and perhaps drooling, and then she starts to twerking in front of him, and then she pulls out her G-string, and that was the cue for him to put in $1.
Oh,
All right,
$1, okay.
all right, it's all about to make sense. All right, and then she repeats that process with other people around the main stage, and then she leaves. And give a round of applause for Cinnamon, right? And she leaves, and then when she gets off stage, she immediately walks straight to Brian, right? And Brian's like sweating bullets, right? You know, because I think he was just captivated.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and everyone could tell. Yeah. And then she like gets real close to him, grabs him arms, and would you like a dance, right? And he's like, yeah. And the dance is like $20 a dance. So she dance on you for the length of a song. Songs are a little shorter,
okay.
but $20. Now here's the thing. Why'd she come up to Brian? She already sold him something, right? He was already
the dollar.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, you know what I'm saying? It was like a tripwire,
Yeah.
right? If you will. And then you got the $20, right? And so then she said, oh, it was over. Do you want another dance? Yeah. And then another, yeah. So he's like upsells. And then she says, so Dan, this is what's gonna happen after you get your third dance in the strip club. She's gonna ask you, do you want a private dance? And what that is, that's for $150, depending on the establishment in the region. You can go in a private room.
Oh, private room.
Right,
okay.
private room and dance with her, maybe touch her or whatever, depending, for $150. Now,
So from $1 to 20, now that's another $150.
yeah.
Okay,
So like
okay.
she did. So think about it. Like she didn't come out the gate with the 150.
Yeah.
She worked them through.
Yeah.
And then so anyway, Brian goes back there. I don't really know what happened at this point because
It's private, right?
At this point, no. Well, yeah. And plus, I got like blackout drunk.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I ended up in a private room too. All right. We don't have to get time to go in that store. But then, and I leave, I stumble out of that motherfucking,
The strip club.
not the strip club, the private room.
Yeah.
And I started texting Brian, like, bro, we gotta go, man. We gotta do this thing more. And he texted me back, Dan, I wish I had the screenshot to this day. It's the most beautiful thing a friend of mine has ever wrote to me. He said, I already left. I'm in the cab with the stripper now. And I was like, oh man, that's awesome. I was like very, very proud, just extremely proud, and also extremely jealous.
Because you blacked out.
Yeah. So anyway, I get to the hotel room. I get to the hotel, right? Our rooms were adjacent to each other, right? So I come out the elevator and I walk past his room to get to mine. As soon as I get past his room, he opens the door and lets the girl out. And he's not wearing a shirt, she's fully clothed, and she like walks away and walks in the elevator. And I'm like, Brian, what happened, man? That was pretty quick, bro. Like, what the fuck? And he's like, nah. She wanted $500.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, from what I hear from other people, that was actually a steal. At that rate. I digress. He said no. You know what I'm saying? Which is, to this day, is an amazing feat of restraint. But you notice, like, if you look at the whole interaction, I started thinking about the whole interaction. I'm like, wait a minute.
From the taxi.
The club paid for us to get there. It paid for the traffic.
Yes.
Right? And then we get there. We get in for free, right? At that point.
For
right?
free.
Right? So, then he pays $1, then 6, then 20, then 20, then 150, then the next thing was 500. I was like, why didn't you just leave with the prostitution? No, that wouldn't work. This is, I'm studying marketing. I'm like, this is it. So like
So you build your whole social media strategy from a strip club.
And that's when
I can see the title of this video, right? Breakthrough social media secrets from a strip club. That's awesome.
And that's when I put a lot of more effort into Facebook, right? Because their pay-per-click, I just think it's the most advanced platform right now. So all right, so like a Facebook ad. You do a lot of Facebook ads.
Yeah.
The cab drive was a Facebook ad, right? Because you pay Facebook to get you the traffic, right?
So are we the strippers? How come I'm making that? Are we the strippers, man?
I think we're the strip club.
Oh my God, we're the pimp. We're the pimp king. Is that what it is?
We're out here pimping.
Pimp king. Oh shit.
And
Isn't it? If
the same
Facebook,
thing.
right?
Yeah.
Is the cab driver? Okay.
yeah, and then we get him like a lead magnet. You give him a free
Something free? Something worth of value?
something valuable, right? Okay, getting in the strip club is valuable to me,
Oh my God.
right? And then there was a I don't think you have any stuff like this in your funnel,
Yeah.
but like for it makes sense for a lot of markets to have a low ticket offer.
Yeah.
They call it a tripwire. That was the $1,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then maybe there was another some upsells. That's the dances.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the core,
Something small, yeah.
yeah. Maybe the core offer is
Mm-hmm. The main.
the main offer was the lap dance. Maybe that's her whole goal. Not the lap dance. I mean the private room.
Yeah.
Maybe that was her real goal.
Yeah, the $150,
She now
yeah.
have to work it up, and then the profit maximizer.
Profit
was that
But she didn't close.
she didn't close. She didn't close.
That she should have qualified Brian early on and make sure that he has the $500 fee before she goes, right?
You know what, man? Okay, he had $500. I
But-
know how much money he has because I write his checks.
Yeah.
Right. However, it was just an amazing feat of restraint on his part, and to this day, I applaud him for for being there. Because I think another guy in that situation doesn't. Because she didn't tell him she just got there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I think another guy in that situation, there's no way he doesn't do it.
Yeah.
So, Brian.
If you're watching this, Brian, Brendan just shared your story with the whole fucking world.
Yeah. I left the part out, man, when I chased her down the hall. I got $500. No, I'm just joking. That didn't happen. $450. I got money.